Connected. What's up, everybody?
Hey, guys.
Got episode 2 in the house. Jackass over here was right about starting off laughing as if that's what we don't do every day. Sitting over here cracking. Fair warning, it's going to be a little bit crazy because we got a pea mosquito floating around the house. That's why we're both wearing hoodies. Lim Shady's officially in the house. Now y'all know what I was talking about in the teaser. Talking about, you ain't got the hoodie on. That's because she looks like she just left a set of 8 Mile. She just served up Clarence, who went on to become Falcon. Changed his whole ass life after Eminem served him, and now he's an Avenger.
Now he is superhero.
Now he is superhero. I'm squeaking right now, worried about this
I am too, dude.
pea mosquito. So I call him a pea mosquito because while I was taking a piss, he was sitting in the toilet bowl. And I tried flushing his ass down there because I ran out of pee. I couldn't piss on him. And
he said, no.
and flew out. So now I'm gonna be like Smokey off of Friday. You don't even know what I'm talking about, so to you, I'm just making wild Cardi B sounds.
When you make that sound, all I hear is John Mulaney's just a hunky ass when he's talking about.
All I hear is, oh, like our own girl, Nova.
Nova.
Oh,
Wild Cardi.
Fucking, you were just telling me about how my sister, Sabrina, wild ass bitch, yesterday, shout out to Sabrina,
Hey,
yesterday,
Sabrina.
she said, she asked you for what?
She came into my room and she was like, hey, do you have a pullover but like it's open in the front with a zipper? And I was like, bitch, you mean a fucking hoodie? And she was like, oh yeah, that.
Fucking redonkulous. Homegirl is, she's something else. I convinced this bitch that she had huma huma nuka nuka puaha, which is, that's the state fish of Hawaii. And one day we were walking through the neighborhood and she was all like worried because she has eczema and she didn't know she had eczema or she was second guessing herself. So she came to ya boy, aka the doctor of the family, evidently.
Biggest mistake.
Yeah, if you are worried about a medical condition or something that's happening with you, don't come to me because I'm going to elevate that and I'm going to make you think it's so much worse.
You're like, I see your mosquito bite. I raise you
Ebola.
brain cancer.
Yeah, brain cancer, that's right. Stage 8.
Stage 8.
Should have been terminal a long time ago. Brain cancer. So we were walking through the neighborhood and she was like, do you think I got, like, is there something wrong with me? I was like, yeah, you have, it looks like you have huma huma nuka nuka puaha. And she was like, what is that? And I was like, that's the state fish of Hawaii. And a lot of people lately, there's been an outbreak of it here in Texas. The tourists go over there and they touch the fish and it gives them like a flesh-eating virus. So then they come back here and they spread it around. So maybe you touch somebody who touched that fish, and she was like, oh my God, no, you're fucking with me. I know you're fucking with me. I was like, dude, Google it. So she was like, all right, and I had to talk to text it, so I was just like, huma huma nuka nuka puaha, and it pulled up, because it is the state fish of Hawaii. And she was like, oh my fucking God, do you think I'm going to be okay? And I was like, no. What you need to do is go home and put some lotion on your ashy ass, because you got eczema. And she was like, I fucking hate you. Then she used to work down the street at Monument Cafe, and do you hear this one?
No.
Dude, they clowned her so bad. They were like, she was, oh, what kind of tree is that out front or something like that over by the sidewalk? And they're like, oh, that's a gold tree. And they're like, she was like, what? They're like, yeah, if you go over there and like you rub it, it'll say gold, gold, gold. Bitch was out there on the sidewalk rubbing a tree, waiting for it to say gold. Then,
Come on.
then whenever she was way younger, she was a teenager for this one, my other sister Ariana, her friend was like telling her about marsh fluff, like marshmallow fluff, the jet puff, and she was eating it. He was like, I can't believe you eat that. She was like, what do you mean? It's good. I love it. And I love it.
I love it.
A weird accent I did right there. He was like, nah, those are baby marshmallows. Like, you can hear them scream whenever they're fresh enough. They just take the baby marshmallows away from their mothers and they shove them into a jar, and you're eating the baby marshmallows. And dude, she was so pissed. She was like to my mom, how the fuck, why would you fucking let me eat this? That is cruel. And we were just like, yo.
You're such
It was my sister's friend who told her that.
Oh, you said you told her.
No, it was my sister's friend who was telling her this, and I didn't even know about it until later. I was like, she fucking thought what? She thought the good old fashioned sugar.
Ferg was an asshole, but that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's comedy, dude. That's straight comedy. Comedy. Yeah, bro. Sabrina's the easiest person to trick into stuff. I love you.
I love you too. Best roommate ever.
Yeah, yesterday or day before yesterday, we were talking about the roommate who had to bring the stuff. Didn't want to be putting people's names on blast, so you needed to, okay it with people before they know. But she's the roommate who saved the podcast night before last because this fucking sweaty bitch over here was all worried about not having her eyelashes.
I look like I'm dead without them.
You're not much better with.
But it does make a difference. Yeah?
Oh my god, dude. I still have that fucking song stuck in my head. When we were listening to
But it took you fucking 10 minutes literally to find.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking dope. If y'all like hip hop, go to Spotify, iTunes, and type in Jay Bailey. Just a picture of him with like a moonshiner beard. Song that I'm thinking about is called "The Come Up." It's dope.
It's a dope song.
It's dope. But that shit's been stuck in my head all day. Took me forever because he's a smaller rapper right now. But it's dope.
It is dope. Listened to it earlier.
Yeah, jammed out.
Quite like it.
Then I almost blew out my throat screaming some Elvis. Your boy gets down on some Elvis. I can't sing for shit, so I overcompensate by just screaming lyrics.
Screaming. Maybe I'll post a video on our Instagram, Joke Castle Podcast. I haven't quite figured out how to add videos to a podcast, but
yeah,
there's some videos that go along with stories that we'll be posting there.
Yep.
So you can see.
So like the Walmart one,
Yeah.
right? Put that one out there.
Yeah.
And then the John Denver. Country roads. Country roads. Take me home to the... I'm not going to scream. I usually scream that next part because I can't sing for shit. And I barely know any of the lyrics. So I just wildly overcompensate by screaming really loud. Like, I lose my voice for what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes afterwards?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be fucking mute pretty soon.
Yeah.
But it's a good time.
We have a lot of laughs.
Couple goofs, couple gaffs.
We have a good time.
Hell yeah. Fucking, so I was telling you, I didn't want to tell you until we were recording about my homie Mauricio back in the day. So, back in Arizona, which is where I'm originally from, for those of y'all playing the home game, I used to work with this guy named Mauricio, who whenever I was 16 and 17, I worked with him, and he was like between 42 to 45 around that time. And he would invite me over to his house, and I would tattoo him and shit. And one night we were gonna go drinking with his friends, who were all like older dudes, like for real older dudes. And there was this fucking girl there in the neighborhood, like even though she was a grown-ass woman, she was still like that bitch who would try and fuck all of them. And Mauricio kind of, like, he thought she was kind of cute, but not enough to like pursue it. And my 16-year-old ass is drunk as fuck. I'm drinking a 40 at their fucking house party. And she comes over and she's like, hey. And then she like starts like grinding against me and like rubbing her ass on my... And I was just like... And Mauricio was like, get it, fool? I was like, no. So I just like did like the robot and like moved out of there. I was like, yo, I had to robot out of that situation. So Mauricio had like 37 different laughs. Like this dude, every time he laughed, it was a different laugh. And this particular laugh, he was like tweaked out Pee Wee Herman, but real loud, and he put his head back and just like arch. And he was like cracking the fuck up. And I was just like, no. So my family, if there's like an awkward situation, I'm like, yo, I had a robot out of that situation. I don't even know why I did the robot either. I was just like, no, and left. It was something else.
Drunky was like, the robot's the way to go.
Yeah, in that like millisecond fight or flight was like, robot. And it's not even like I do a good robot or anything. I was just like, anything is better than this. I'm not fucking this cougar.
Knowing the crazy shit that you've gotten into, your Firefly instinct as the robot is my favorite fucking thing.
Yo, like, what am I expected to do? Be fucking this old ass bitch and hit her with like that skiing in the Alps move where I'm just like hip thrusting into her? Just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I said no. I did a good old fashioned, not today.
No, thank you.
Thank you for your business though.
I appreciate you, really, but no.
Not gonna happen. Yo, tell them that story about you being the little nugget.
Oh.
I want to hear about how you a nugget. You a whole ass nugget.
So,
Shit's good.
when I was in college, I was hanging out with my roommate Kaylee and my friend Hunter, and we were in Hunter's dorm. And there was this dude, Ike, that came by.
Fucking Ike.
And
Man.
he came in and he was like, "Can I deep throat your arm?"
As you do.
And
You know what I mean? Of course.
before I could like get words out to respond, my arm was like this deep in this nigga's mouth.
Yeah, you were
I was
just
just
like
like-
playing patty cake with his asshole from the throat. He was like, yoink.
That's weird. Hunter was like, "Yo, maybe you should go. We'll catch you later." And so he's like, "Okay, before I go, have y'all heard of nugget porn?" And we were like, "No,
No, I have not.
I have not." And he was like, "Okay, let me show you." So he pulls up on his phone nugget porn, which I guess I haven't Googled it, but if you Google it, it's not actually.
Yeah,
what
it's
he
not
put
what
up.
she described it as. So first we're gonna go with what you described it as, and then I'll tell you because your boy's a dick. So I've been calling her Nugget ever since she told me the story. Because why wouldn't you? I've looked it up because I was like, all right, I'm just gonna put it on the big screen at the tattoo shop after hours and make Abby watch it because that's a funny thing to do.
As you do.
And I'll tell y'all what I fucking found. And what if it's your cup of tea, hey, if this is what you're into, you no kink shaming, all right? You do you. But it ain't for me.
So what it was when he pulled it up was basically just a bunch of amputee porn, like a bunch of bitches with their shit out with like literally no arms and no legs and shit.
Yeah. So whenever I Googled nugget porn, it was just a bunch of motherfuckers getting freaky with like McDonald's chicken nuggets. It was almost exclusively McDonald's chicken nuggets too.
That's wild too. Like, what's wrong with other chicken?
Yeah, like
nuggets?
Chick-fil-A nuggets, you can't get freaky with those.
Like, there's a whole community of
Like-
people that are sexually shaming chicken nuggets.
Yeah, like what if like your type happens to be like Hispanic men or black men or white men or whatever. They're like, oh, you know what? I'm really into McDonald's chicken nuggets. I've never really been with like a Chick-fil-A chicken nugget, but McDonald's is my strength.
I don't
That's what I'm
really
into.
fuck with KFC chicken nuggets.
Oh, dude, don't even bring up KFC chicken nuggets. Them bitches broke.
You know what? It's a shit though.
Hmm.
Fucking Arby's chicken nuggets.
Dude, I don't like anything from Arby's.
No,
I fucking hate Arby's.
really.
Yeah,
If I'm being honest,
I say that, and
I
then
only eat their curly fries.
I say that, and there's one thing I like. My loving wife,
Lovely.
my
That's
loving
all.
wife,
My love.
my loving wife. I'm not gonna name her because we haven't talked about that, but she turned me on to the curly fries from there with cheddar. It's fucking, as y'all Texans would say, that shit smacks. It slaps hard, yo.
Shit smacks.
Shit smacks. Bow. Bow. Tank. Bow. Bow. Got that shit smack. Where's the Listerine? There's a
Good old
fucking
shit
good old shit smack, man. He changed. I haven't heard from him in a while.
I haven't. Shit come over for Thanksgiving.
Go invite him, be like, hey man, I know it's not shit like you like. I got some McDonald's chicken nuggets if that's what you're into, or...
You know who we should introduce him to?
Who?
Corn.
That's so weird, dude. So I don't even know how I came across this YouTube channel.
I don't either.
Usually whenever I show you weird stuff, it's because I'll like YouTube one thing and I just go down like a rabbit hole. And this video is so specific. I don't know how I accidentally happened upon it. But there's this guy in Australia who has like this plumbing business, and he just goes with like them crazy fucking pressure washers and breaks like roots to trees that have busted through pipes or clogged drains. And like it's really gross because it's not clogged like from the shower. It's dookie drains. You know what I'm saying? And
it's not pretty.
Yeah, it's bad. And he gets real gross with it. He's got like this little like rubber rat that he calls Ratty. And he talks to it as if it's like his friend. So he's got to be like an Australian serial killer or something. And he's like, oh, Ratty, got some corn for you, mate. And it's like shit corn. Like somebody ate some corn and he found it and he gives it to his rat. And it's disappointing, to say the least.
You say,
but
don't do it.
Yeah, it was like so fascinating to see how, because I like seeing how things work, be it somebody working on electrical lines or whatever. So I was like, I've never thought of whenever something is so jammed up, you got to use like a pressure washer to break it up. And I just fucking, I don't know, I was curious and I regret it. I haven't watched some videos in a while and I don't plan on it. He's getting popular though.
You showed it to me and then you were like, all right.
Yeah, I had to I passed it on and I was like, all right, you're it. There's some fucking characters out there. Like my fucking Uncle Rory, bud.
Oh.
That guy, he's something else. He is something else. He's the biggest bullshitter you'll ever meet, ever. So my mom is real into blues. That's why the name of the tattoo shop, the Nime. That's why the name of the shop is is T's Blues and Tattoos. My mom's name is T. She likes the blues and we do tattoos. So she's gotten her favorite musician of all time. He would be my dad if he didn't die, is Stevie Ray Vaughan. My mom is the biggest Stevie Ray Vaughan stalker you'll ever meet. To the point where like she has dinner with his family that's not listed anywhere. Like if you didn't know that that was his family, you would never know that it's his family. So she's like that with, you know, into it, which is dope. But she's getting all of the musicians who played with him to sign her, and then she gets them tattooed on, and she has an entire back piece that's Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's a fucking famous back tattoo. If you just Google Stevie Ray Vaughan back tattoo, the one with the green and purple leaves up top, portraits in the middle, all that, that's her back. It's won plenty of awards, been in books, all this stuff. So B.B. King played with Stevie Ray Vaughan, and my mom went and met him and got him to sign her, and then got it tattooed on. She did it. Nobody got her into that position. She did it. She just met him, waited in fucking line, and he did it and was kind of a dick, but his diabetes was acting up that day, I guess. So he was kind of grouchy about it, but he did it. And he didn't think she was gonna get it tattooed, so he signed it like real fucking big. And she's like, well, I guess I got a giant ass B.B. King tattoo now. So if you listen, if you listen to my bullshitting Uncle Rory tell you, it's because he's been in the music industry forever. Meanwhile, motherfucker doesn't have a job still and rides a mountain bike all around Tucson while doing some extracurricular activities. And he'll tell you that he did sound and mixing for B.B. King, and he introduced them and got him to sign her and all this other shit. So he's a fucking character. This motherfucker was staying, so for a spell I had to live with my aunt and uncle for some stuff, and they were wild in their own right.
Yep.
My aunt is certifiably crazy and got real mad, so my uncle left her at the bar because she thought he was trying to fuck her friend, which wasn't the case. And she walked home. It was about like a 2-hour walk, and as soon as she came in, Like, she turned that knob up to 10 and broke it. Because she just grabbed, like, a cast iron model car and hit him in the head with it while he was sleeping. So he got up and was like, "Ah! Ah!" And they started, like, brawling. So my uncle Rory is sleeping in the fucking living room on an air mattress. And this dude, it was like a call to action. As soon as he heard them fucking going at it, he fucking stands up and is like, "Whoa, don't fuck with us, we're brothers." Grabs a coat rack, fucking Spartas that bitch through the ceiling, and then rips it down, jostles it around, and throws it through a fucking sliding glass door. And even, it was so out of nowhere and disorienting that the fight stopped for a second. They were just like, "The fuck are you doing?" I fucking bounce out. I'm like, "I gotta get out of here, man." Fucking cops come and he goes to jail. Him and my aunt go to jail. And he's all mad that he goes to jail. Like, "Bro, you escalated the situation even more than my crazy aunt did. What did you expect? Like, you woke up for no reason, grabbed a motherfucking coat rack, slammed that bitch through the ceiling. Our fucking landlord comes over. He's like, "Oh, fucking damn it. What the fuck is going on over here?" Well, there's just shattered glass everywhere. And our landlord was this dude named Doc who wore Daisy Dukes. Bro, his balls would be hanging out all the time. Fucking Doc and his Daisy Dukes. And he'd always be coming over. For some reason, he's our landlord and doesn't have a shower. So this would be like, "I need my hour shower." And he'd always say he needs his hour shower. And he was like just this creepy ass dude in Daisy Dukes with part of his ball sack hanging out. And he comes over and is screaming at us because good old Uncle Rory just showed you how the Spartans did.
Don't fuck with us, we're brothers.
Dude, yeah, he straight up said, "Don't fuck with us, we're brothers." And just fucking, that was that. Dude was a character, bro.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
It was something else, I'll tell you that.
I didn't have that kind of excitement.
Oh, I had... That's just like a throwaway story, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, yeah, I'll tell you guys here, and there's so many. Honestly, the reason I don't like telling people a lot of these stories is because a lot of this shit just sounds so crazy that it's like, this has to be made up. So, like, I wish that we were at a point in technology where I could just, like, beam fucking light through my eyes and you could see, like, firsthand what I've saw.
If I hadn't known him, like, as long as I have and lived through crazy shit with him, I don't know if I would believe all of the stories that you told me.
A lot of this shit just sounds made up.
And when he tells people, like, shit just happens to me. It does. Like,
I don't go out looking for shit.
Walk in, shit just happens.
Yeah, I don't go out looking for shit. Legitimately, shit just fucking finds me. Inevitably, shit will just fucking find me.
Wherever you are, it just is like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hey.
Hey.
You look interesting. I'd like to get to know you.
What are 3 other things about him?
I remember I was at a fucking party. So I don't really drink a lot anymore because I burned my fucking self out. So around the time that I was like partying with Mo and shit, I didn't really party with Mo. I just went to a couple like of his little kickbacks. But 16, 17, and 18, I was partying hard. Me and my brother Nick were going out to fucking college parties every single night at the U of A. I mean, we would close up the tattoo shop at anywhere between midnight and 2 o'clock, go party all night until the sun was coming up, go home, sleep a couple hours, wake up, do it again. Every night I was drinking a half bottle of Patron and like 2 40s. Jesus. So I was just wasted all the time.
Oh my God.
And at the parties that we went to, because Nick and I were the kids there, we were like the mascots. Like, people would be genuinely excited that we came through. Like, I had a Lincoln Navigator with some subs in it. People were like, "Yo, that shit is dope." So I remember at one part, like, we were kind of like the security. It was me, Nick, Aaron, Jay, and Broseph. I think he's Joseph, but we just called him Broseph. That dude is shot out now. But we would show up, and if people were fighting and shit, we'd regulate them out of there. So one night, there was this 2 couple, And they were really dysfunctional. They'd always be arguing. Inevitably, every night, they would end up leaving the party prematurely because they were fucking yelling at each other and, like, screaming at each other over nothing.
A nice, healthy relationship.
Yeah, he'd be like, you drank the last of the bottle, bitch. And he was like, yo, there's alcohol. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Alcohol.
So one night, he was going to leave in her station wagon. And it's weird because it looked like they were living in their station wagon, but they had a house. So he starts leaving in her station wagon, and she does like the typical girl thing where she's like, I'm gonna step in front, you're not going anywhere. And he's like, the fuck I ain't. And like hits her, but not like really fast. He was going like 5-8 miles an hour, but she was real unfortunate looking. Like she was real round. So he fucking like hits her, and like she bounces up on the hood, falls off and bounces. And we was like, oh, that bitch bounced. And then we realized like, it's kind of a party foul. So like we pulled him out of the car and fucked him up. But, and he knew, like as soon as it happened, he knew he fucked up. So it was like, he knew the ass beating was coming. But it was like, hey man.
It's kind of a party foul.
Yeah. But dude, we were dying laughing, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody was like, yo, that bitch bounced. And it was like the funniest shit ever. Yeah, it was really fucking funny. Yeah. Crazy times, man.
I don't have a whole lot of crazy party stories other than just like stupid shit that like my friend Elena, I told you about Elena whenever we were at a party or like a bonfire. And she got really cold, and we were drunk, and so she got into the fire pit and was just standing in there, and we looked over and we were like, yo!
You're on fire, bitch.
Maybe get out!
This bitch is on fire!
And then about one time we were drunk as fuck getting out of the car, and she got out, I turned around, grabbed my phone, turned back around, this bitch is gone. I looked down, and she is literally face down in the grass, just passed the fuck out. And we were like, ah! Leah! We gotta get you inside.
Fuck, dude. I remember my 17th birthday. I was at another house party with the girl who I'm pretty sure set me up to get shot. So I was at a house party with her. Not with her, but I stopped by. She was like, dude, you should come by and have a shot with me. I was like, all right. So I stopped by, and it's a bunch of older people there. Because whenever I was 17, she was probably like 23, 24. She was there with her dude and a bunch of other like people their age. So me and Nick go over there, and the host, like the person who owned the house, was just like this really weird guy. He was just a really strange character. And I remember I'm like sitting at a table, and Nick and all them are sitting around here, and then over to like my left, the fucking host is there against the wall, and we're talking about I don't even remember what we were talking about, but it was just some random shit. And then he's like, oh, so kind of like this, and then what he's about to do doesn't relate to the story. It doesn't mix. We can just be like, dude, I'm gonna go over to the movies. And he's like, oh, kind of like this. And he just pulls his fucking balls out, and his balls are just chilling outside of his zipper. And we're like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? And they're like, oh yeah, he does that. And we're just like, this isn't new. Like, this is just regular shit. Oh, we're gonna go to Brian's house. He's gonna probably pull his balls out, but we'll get through it. Like, it was so strange. Nick and I left. We were like, dude, we're not going back there. I don't want to see no more balls, bro. We're gonna call this the ball episode. We're just talking about balls.
Dude, okay, so back to Ike. So one day it was like me. So Ike's roommate was Dalton, and Dalton and Ike's sweet mate was
Dalton? Is he no longer with us, or?
Well, okay, is Dalton.
He either had a sex change in his destiny, or he died.
They're not at that college anymore, so.
Bro, hey, he could be dead.
I talked to him like a couple weeks ago, so
oh,
I
okay,
hope
so
he's
he's
not.
fine. So he's fine. Anyways,
So-
as you were.
Now you got me all stressed.
You're gonna call him right now?
Yeah.
Get on the ground.
Come ground. Are you alive? So, it was me, Ike, Dalton, Skylar, Elena, and I don't know, probably some other people. Anyway, so
I like how you listed 3 people in total, and you're like, there were probably other people there. Like, you don't remember if there was more than 3 people or not?
if there was, they weren't relevant enough for me to remember them. They did not contribute enough to that night.
Fucking retard. Fuck you guys, bitch, you ain't important. In the future, whenever we're telling YouTube stories, you ain't gonna be a part of it.
Shannon was there, but probably Shannon was always with me, but that crusty
Dude,
bitch.
fuck Shannon.
That crusty bitch is irrelevant.
Shannon, if you see this, fuck you.
Fuck you, bitch, you did me so dirty. You owe me like $1,000.
Yeah, bitch, now I'll be coming to collect. Looking all dead inside.
So,
Back to the story. Connected.
so Dalton was talking about something about how Ike will just drop his pants and boxers like for no reason at all. You don't gotta ask him, or you could ask him. You could just be like, yo, Ike, show me dick, and he'd just drop his pants. So Ike is in his room. We're out in the hall, because the way the dorms are set up was it was like a suite, and then within the suite was one bathroom.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard. Anytime I put on chapstick, gotta do it, you know?
You're an idiot. Anyway, so I was rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
It's not okay, but we'll move on. So, like, there's 2 rooms, 1 bathroom. So we were in, like, the suite area with the bathroom, just chilling. Ike is in his room. He hears Dalton just mention that Ike will do that. Like, my back is to Ike's door. I turn around, dick in my face.
So he's just like a 6-year-old. He's like, I heard somebody say something about me. Bow. Was it like, bow, or like, blip?
I don't remember.
You said you was not a
Blocked out.
dong right in your face.
Yeah, but it was like the first one I'd ever seen it. I was like,
For
what
real?
is
That was your exposure to dicks?
Aside from porn,
Oh, yeah, you're right. What age did you start watching porn?
I don't remember. Like,
How do you not remember? I was 9 years old whenever I started watching porn.
like 11 or 12, I think.
For real?
I think so.
Just punching the bean? Just like, bap, 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 bap. Bitch, you all owe me this money.
Like that bitch with that bat just.
Oh my god. So, for those of you who haven't seen it, there's this.
Like a million people have seen it.
Maybe the people watching right now haven't seen it. For those of you who haven't, there's this fucking Twitter handle. I don't know what it's called. I don't use fucking Twitter. But my homies were showing me, Lunar that was here the other day and Toast was showing me, it'll go from like a regular ass video. So like these 2 specifically went from like a trampoline, like just people jumping on a trampoline, like an indoor trampoline park. They're just having a good time, and then it promptly cuts to this dude. So ladies, there's this move that guys do. We call it the brain. And it's where you grab your balls, like from the bottom of the sack, and then you like squeeze, so your 2 balls are popping out the top. And it looks like the 2 hemispheres of a brain. So we call it the brain. So he's holding his fucking junk in the brain, and this chick is butt-ass naked on a bed sitting across from him with a aluminum baseball bat. And she's coming
Like,
way up from like New York up here and just like, bing! And
like,
each time that it hits, you can hear the ringing of the bat.
Like she's hitting it so fucking hard.
Ridiculously hard. Oh
like,
my god.
Disrespectfully hard.
Well, it's not even like a play. Like, you shouldn't ever playfully. I mean, I'm not gonna say no king shaming, so I'm not gonna say you shouldn't, but you probably medically shouldn't. Like, lightly tap. This wasn't that. This was just like from Maine, just bing, bing, and she just
From
keeps
fucking
hitting, and
Alaska.
it was like what, 7 or 8
At
hits,
least 7 or 8. Like,
and he's
I don't
not
know how
even
his
like,
balls went like liquefied.
dude, straight up, like straight the fuck
Like,
up.
he needs a ball transplant.
And some milk. He needs some
And
milk.
some insulin.
He needs the whole shebang. So, like, he's obviously a willing participant because he's holding the brain. And each time he's just like, like, he's into it. He's
Like-
with it.
Like, I don't have balls. I have chesticles. But every time I'm just like, oh, fuck.
It is
It's
next level, is what it is. It is next fucking level. So then, like,
jeez.
the other video that they showed me it was like a view of like a pumpkin patch, and then it cuts over to like a glory hole situation, but dude's laying on his back, and then like the door is like, it's like a door almost is over him, so you don't see anything other than his fucking little popping through it. So he's laying on his back, dick popping straight up, and this chick is standing on top of the door with stilettos on. That's what you call them, right? Stilettos. And she straight up puts the fucking heel of her stiletto in his urethra and just steps. And just like, I'm surprised she didn't split sausage. You know what I mean?
You
Just
wanna
like-
know what that story just reminded me of?
Yes, I do. What in your vanilla ass life does this remind you of?
Like, not this your past birthday, but your birthday before.
Hey guys, it was me in the video. I had a catastrophic dick loss. I no longer have one.
We're up here. It's you, me, Nova, and Travis. And Nova and I come out with Round Rock Donuts singing happy birthday. And you and Travis die laughing because one of you had just said, have you ever been to the doctor and gotten like a Q-tip shoved in your dick?
Yeah.
And then Nova and I just come out, happy birthday.
Yeah, we had just finished saying, have you ever been to the doctor and had like a Q-tip shoved up your dick hole? And as soon as we got done saying the word hole, they come out the back saying, happy birthday. I was like, oh, am I getting a Q-tip up the dick for my birthday? I was ready to run. I just felt like running. I was ready to get the fuck out of there, bud. I forgot all about that. That was
Nova and I were just like,
hilarious.
what's so funny?
We were like pissing ourselves laughing. The fucking candle like melted onto the donut because we were laughing for so long. But it was fucking hilarious. Connected.
I forgot about that story until right now.
Good fucking times, man.
Good fucking times.
So I got 2 stories about homeless people in the neighborhood. A lot. I'm gonna say ahead of time, for those of you who know us, who have been in here, and y'all have heard these stories, because these are all stories I like to tell people while I'm tattooing them. I apologize. Just for anybody who hasn't heard these stories and you don't know them. There was a homeless man who had came in whenever my brother Nick was working here. And we were tattooing, and there was like half-naked young chicks in here. And this dude comes in that looks like he just left Vietnam. Like, he was this white dude, but he was rough. Like, he had been through it. And he comes in, and he's high as fuck on something. And he asked my brother, can I use your bathroom for defecation purposes? And my brother's like, that's a weird way to say, can you take a shit? But you gotta ask that guy, talking about me. So dude comes over with his backpack on, and he's like, hey, can I use your bathroom for defecation purposes? And I was like, nah, bro. Like, there's, the store up the street, restaurant next door, like Sonic, there's a whole bunch of places for you to go take shit if you need to. He's like, they won't let me. And I was like, hey, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I feel for him, but like you're going in. I'm not gonna have you getting high. What if he fucking overdoses in my bathroom? I just don't want it to be a thing. I don't want him to regularly come in here if that's where he's choosing to shoot dope, whatever it is. So I'm the asshole and I tell him no. He's like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. So he goes outside and he's, you know, gone for a couple of minutes. And then he comes back and I'm drawing. And I can hear through the doors up there, like the glass windows and whatnot, I can hear singing really loud. And he opens the door, he's like, just a small town girl living in a low, and then like slams the door. And I was like, did this? So I go outside. Sure enough, this dude took a shit on the sidewalk right in front of the shop. So I'm like, motherfucker. Like, this is a scenario that I don't know what to do about, because I'll be damned if I'm picking it up. I can't go and grab him and make him come back because that's kidnapping. So I'm like, I have to take the bitch route. And I gotta call the laws. So I'm walking behind him on the phone with the fucking cops. And the dispatcher's like, you know, 911, what's your emergency? I'm like, I don't know if I even call you guys for this, but a homeless dude just took a shit in front of my tattoo shop. And she starts laughing. She's like, he did well. I'm like, yeah, you heard me right. So she's like, all right, sir, you know, what are you doing right now? And I was like, I'm following him. He's at Sonic. She's like, okay, don't start any confrontation, but stay with him. We're going to send a unit out. So this dude was so high that he goes to Sonic and then turns around, passes me, and didn't recognize me. And he's like, hey, how you doing? I was just like, what's up? So I fucking flip a bitch, and I'm walking with him again up towards Valero. He goes in Valero, comes out, sees me again, doesn't recognize me again. He's like, sir, do you have any money I can borrow? Like, I can have, not borrow. Homeless people don't borrow money from you. So I was like, nah, bro. And he starts walking in. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to Forrest Gump him all around this town and just be fucking following everyone. I'm like, hey. I fucking reach in my pocket. I give him a quarter. And right as I'm doing that, a cop pulls up. And I'm like, thank God. So the cop is like, hey, you know, how you doing? Did you take a shit in front of this guy's shop? And he's like, nope. And then she looks at me. I'm like, yeah, he took a shit in front of my shop. And then he was like, no, I didn't. There's quite a bit of like going back and forth. And he starts talking. He looks over at me and he's like, oh, I see what you did. You're a confidential informant. You're a snitch. And I'm like, dude, like the alternative is me packing you out. I don't think you don't want that problem. Like, this is the most peaceful solution for you, is me getting the fucking law involved. Because if I go over there and I tell him, like, yo, come pick this up, he's like, no, I'm going to break his face. And I don't want that. That's not, like, I fuck with the homeless. Every year we go out and give out food to the homeless. Like, I fuck with the homeless. So I'm not trying to get into that kind of a scenario. So, long story long, the cop's like, all right, you're either going to go to jail or you're going to go pick it up. Like the worst training day scenario ever. So the guy's like, all right, I'll pick it up. So on the walk back over here, he sees my dermals, my little diamonds there. And he's telling the cops, he's like, yeah, this guy over here, he's got teardrops. That means he killed somebody. I know you guys got to kill people because, you know, that's your job. But he does it just because he likes the way it makes him feel. And I'm recording it. I'm like, did this motherfucker just now say I kill people because I like the way it feels? It's a weird thing to say. So we get over here, and the cop's, like, illuminating him and the shit. I go inside, and I get him a glove and a bag so he can throw it away. And this dude, like, starts to reach for it, and he's like, and the cop and all of us, we start dying laughing. And he fucking picks up, he's like, I'm like, all right, bro, I'll go get you a Sprite. So he goes and he throws away. He's like, I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to do this. I have a job to do, and I had to do what I had to do. And I was just like, that's a weird business model. Like, you just go in front of shops and you shit in front of them. I don't know if it's going to work, but who am I to judge?
Who am I to judge? I shave dolphins.
Yeah, I shave dolphins for a living. So then he ends up going to jail because he, like, lays on the sidewalk. He's like, just kill me. Just kill me. And they're like, either leave or go to jail. And he's like, I'm going to jail. They take him to jail. You want to tell Wax while I go grab something to drink?
Okay. So, one night, I'm sitting, like, so back behind the camera, there's like an open area, a couple booths. Our piercing area used to be right behind where the camera is, and then right over here, this side is the door, front door. So I was sitting in the piercing area. Snow was tattooing over here in his booth. And this lady comes in, and she was like fresh out of a bush. Like she.
She was fresh out the bush.
She had leaves and sticks in her hair. Like, she was a little bit of a mess. So she comes in, and she, like, we have a display case up front, like, and, like, separating the lobby from the tattoo and piercing area of the shop. And she starts to come back behind the display case, and Snow was like, yo, you need to stay over there. And we were like, how can we help you? And she was like, wax.
She just yelled at us. She's like, wax!
I thought she said it normal first.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Like, straight to the yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she was like, wax! Just like, yelled it. And we were like, what? She was like, wax! I need wax. Do y'all wax? And we were like,
We don't do that here.
no, we don't do that here. So, like, a good, 2-3 hours goes by. He finishes tattooing. We're locking up the shop, taking the trashes out. And he's walking backwards. And I didn't even see it at first. But she's just like, hi. And we were like, hey.
Like, I seen her. So I was walking backwards, and as I looked, I stopped, and I'm just, like, staring. And Abby doesn't look at what I'm looking at. And she just looks up and is like, hi.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So she's sleeping. Like, you guys know how you cement poles into the ground? It was like one of them had been ripped up, and she was sleeping on the cement portion of that.
Like a pillow.
Yeah.
So, she's like, just laying there. We were taking the trash out, and she asked if we had any water. We were like, yeah. So we come back inside, get a couple water bottles, and we go out there to take it to her. And he's like, before we go back out there, he's like, I want to know what kind of what wax she was wearing. And so I was like, all right. So we go back out there, and he was like, I was just wondering what kind of wax you were looking for. And she was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, you were just in my shop a couple hours ago asking about wax. I was just wondering what kind of wax you're looking for. And she goes, I don't know, alcohol, man.
Yeah, just.
And that was that.
No, right? Yep, that was it. I was like, all right, you take it easy. I'm sure she's out there in another bush somewhere else terrorizing people.
Good game.
Yeah. Yeah, what can you say in that scenario? Just good game. Well played.
Checkmate.
Tip of the hat to you.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. That bush is mighty comfy. We get some fucking characters in here.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
The other week, it was like last week, right? I had this customer come in, I was tattooing them. It was these two guys and a girl. And they randomly met this girl at, like in a town probably 2-3 hours from here, right?
It was like East Texas.
Yeah, so, okay, so it was like, what, 4 or 5 hours from here?
It was like Dallas area, like 3 hours.
Either way. So they randomly meet her in a bar, and they bring her to a hotel room after. They're all drinking, and friend number 1 is smashing her, and friend number 2 went there with a different girl who fell asleep. So friend number 1 has whiskey dick and can't get it up, and it's painfully obvious to everybody in the room because friend number 2 is laying on the bed and recording it.
Friend number 1 has to go laid over. Friend number 2 is away.
Bent over and is like this, like looking at him in the camera, and he's like cheering them on like a mass guy. He's like, come on, mother, you got this shit. You'll get it up. This happened over 3 hours.
3 hours.
For 3 hours, he tried to shove his little limp noodle dick in her, and it wasn't working. Also, what kind of girl is dedicated? Like, would you?
Like, no. Like, sorry, but no.
It's not working. I've had whiskey dick before, and I was like, hey, it's not gonna work.
Maybe
like,
we can try again at a later date, but like
it's
now
not gonna work.
It's not happening.
So, at a certain point, she's just like bent over, like her hand over her mouth, and it's
like looking at,
like, is this really happening? And then she just like stops, and then reaches over to friend number 2 and fist bumps him, and they're just like, all right. So they have video of this. So while I'm tattooing her, friend number 1 and 2 are showing Lieutenant Dan over here the video, and I can't see shit 'cause it's all dark, but she can see the fist bump, and we're all dying. Like, I'm almost pissing myself laughing. I'm like, yo, you're a down ass bitch. She's like, yeah, that's what I do.
'cause she's for real, and the video is like,
and just like fist bumps. Just like, and
like, is this really happening?
now this all, like, whenever I'm tattooing them, it had only been a week previous that this incident happened. They'd only known each other for like a week, and they're getting matching tattoos. Friend number 1 and the girl are getting matching tattoos, and telling us this story. I'm like, yo, like, it's funny as fuck. Like, they were hilarious.
It took all night to get the story out of them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first, friend number 2 didn't want to tell us the story.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I'll just say there's some inappropriate stuff that happened. I'm like, motherfucker, this is what we do. Like, we ain't no PG-13 ass place. You need to tell us now what happened. So eventually they tell us. And we were just fucking dying laughing. Then they were, friend number 1 and 2 were telling us separate incidents of them riding a bull butt ass naked.
And we see
Friend number 2 has a video of him wearing. He wasn't even wearing socks or boots. He was
literally butt
as
ass
the day he was born, naked on a bull.
Birthday suit,
asshole in the air, just fucking going at it. And we were just like, yo, respect, bro. Like, you're gonna probably get. And I was like, yo, you probably got mad ass like dick chafing. He was like annoyed. Like, a lot of people have been saying, it's like, it's not even like that, dude. It's like, you didn't even feel anything. I'm like, you probably didn't feel anything. Yeah, it was something else, but it was really funny.
Yeah.
They each had naked bull riding stories. It was like, only in Texas.
They were like our version of wild, but out in the wild. But we had our wild in Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we had our wild in Walmart. That's for sure.
Back when Walmart was 24 hours.
Yep.
Rona fucked that up.
Yep. So there's more stories we're going to be posting on our Joke Castle podcast. There's videos to go with it, but
Instagram.
Yeah.
The Instagram is Joke Castle Podcast.
Joke Castle Podcast is the Instagram handle. We're going to be posting the videos on there. And one of our favorite stories to tell people is whenever I hooked up to the Bluetooth speakers there. So it was kind of late at night, and we were walking by electronics, and I seen like the big ass surround sounds. So I was like, oh shit, I wonder if I can hook up to it. So they had like a little plastic thing on top where the Bluetooth icon is, so you can't just go click it. But all I did was like peel that up, and I pushed connect, and I connected my phone to it. I was like, oh shit. So I go to this song called Deep Throat by Cupcake. And for those of you who don't know, it is absolutely ridiculous. The chorus is like, hunt me, fuck me. I'm not going to say the part because I don't want to pause.
Daddy better make me show you better. Hunt me, fuck me. My eternal love's a deep throat.
So it's absolutely ridiculous. So I put that song on, and I fucking crank that bitch up as loud as it'll go. So it's really loud. Like, the video we have of it doesn't do it justice.
No.
It's so much louder than what it seems like in the video. But I'm walking around because I don't want to make it look like I'm just standing in front of the fucking speakers. So we're walking around electronics, and that shit is going loud as shit. And another part of the song is like, I wanna eat your dick. Like, loud as fuck and aggressive as fuck. So we're walking, and this is playing, and we're making it look like we don't know what's going on. I'm like, yo, Walmart is lit. And then the workers are in the background. Like, you don't see them in the video, But they're like
scrambling,
They're like,
trying to figure out what's going on.
They're like, what the fuck? So they're like booking it to the back to get it all turned off, and we're just like, yo, we're looking at them like we're ashamed of them for letting it happen. We're like, yo,
like how would y'all let this happen?
yeah, like I didn't know y'all play this kind of shit around here. So we'll post that video up on the Instagram channel for the podcast. It was pretty funny. The next time that we plan on doing it is gonna be pretty great. I'm not gonna tell you guys which song we're gonna do. You'll
it's
just
a surprise.
Yeah, one day you'll just get on the Instagram if you follow it and see. Yeah, you'll see. It's gonna be pretty great. And then there's
Maybe we'll Instagram Live.
Maybe we'll put our phone on Facebook Live. You're gonna want to record this.
You're gonna want to record this.
So what was the one story that we had at Walmart in the checkout line?
So, for those of you who don't know us, ILL, we talk real reckless. So one day we're in Walmart, and what we would do is I would stand in line, and he would go get a drink for him and his wife, and then we'd check out. So we're walking to checkout. And he's just saying, so I don't remember exactly what he was saying anymore, but just some wild shit about me being pregnant and is my baby gonna need prosthetics and like it probably has prosthetics in me.
Yeah, you should be fucking pushing a baby out prosthetics first. And this lady's like...
So he, like, we're walking toward, and then he says that, and this lady, like, he doesn't see this, but this lady just is like... and then turns around, and he walks away and, like, yells something. I cannot remember what you said, but it was something like, yo, am I going to meet your baby for the first time? It's going to have prosthetics? It's going to come out with prosthetics? And this lady goes...
It's a good time.
And so he comes back, and I'm dying laughing, and he's just like, why are you laughing so hard? So I tell him, just the reactions we get out of people are my fucking favorite.
I broke a dude's heart at Walmart who was just trying to buy his Dr. Pepper. We were walking, and I was walking ahead of this dude, and the whole time he was in Walmart, like, if he happened to be behind us, he was power walking everywhere. Like, he was on a mission. So he was carrying, like, one of the miniature six-packs, like, they're little cans of Dr. Pepper, and he's right behind us, and I fucking crop dust him. I was like, barr, barr.
So bad.
Yeah, it was really smelly, it was really loud, and then, like, we stopped to grab some chips, and he just, like, fucking power walks through the fart, and he looked so sad. I was like, yeah, like, we started dying laughing, like, he's like, I'm just trying to fucking buy my Dr. Pepper. Like, he gave us, like, that I just smelled shit face, because he kind of did. He was like... Made that motherfucker sad as shit. And then the other day was my wedding anniversary, and I was in there buying a card, and flowers, and I had to call Lieutenant Dan for something. I don't remember what I had to call you for originally, but I seen this old lady who kept looking over at me kind of wild, so I was like, hey, just go with this, all right? So I'm walking, and I put on a speakerphone, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck that I got your sister pregnant. I'm trying to make things right. I'm getting you a card. I'm buying you flowers. I'm trying to make an honest woman out of you and her. And then Lieutenant Dan says...
I'm like, I don't give a fuck. She's 13. What do you mean?
So we hadn't rehearsed this. So I didn't know she was going to make me out to look like a child molester. So the lady's like... And I just like fucking walk really quick. I'm like... I get the fuck out of there. I'm like, ah! So there's some lady in Georgetown who probably thinks I'm a chomo, but I guess it is what it is.
All for the joke.
All for the joke. All for the joke.
We go hard for the joke.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Miss our Walmart times.
Miss our Walmart times.
That's how lame I am now.
That's how lame we are.
I'm almost 30 and I'm just on a first name basis with everybody at Walmart.
I'm 21 and same. I'm 21 and my idea of a fun night is hanging out at Walmart with you.
Yeah, but I mean, you look like you did for 17 years, so.
Yo. I was on Tinder.
We told the story last time.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a really bad memory.
Like a goldfish. I work with Dory.
That's what my grandma calls me. She calls me Dory.
Yo, Grammy is the fucking best.
Grammy is the best.
Grammy's dope as shit.
Love Grammy.
She didn't like me at first, but now she loves me. Your whole family didn't like me at first,
My
but now
whole
it seems
family.
like they're coming around.
I think they are.
They're coming around. Not
Hope
after
so.
this. They're like, fuck,
After
this
this.
is why we don't like them hanging
This
out.
is why Mom doesn't
Fucking love you.
But like, see, Abby, this is why we tried to
Yeah.
keep you out of the shop. Now we're making a podcast.
Right? Yeah, they tried like everything they could to keep us from hanging out. Fast forward fucking 2 years and we're doing a podcast.
And it started with a tattoo.
Yeah, it all started with
But-
a fucking tattoo.
His favorite thing to tell people, not so much anymore, you haven't told people this in a while, was that, so really, we didn't meet for the first time when he did my tattoo. His brother Nick was my piercer, and he did most of my piercings. Like, after I found this place, he did all my piercings. And, like, I'd come up here, and Snow would be up here, and he'd be like, hey, what's up? And I'd be like, oh, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Just like, because before I met him, I was a very, like, shy person. I didn't talk to people, so it wasn't me being rude. I was just like, I don't know you. Just,
You
like,
told me I looked
be
intimidating.
You do. Okay, also, you do look mad intimidating. You and your mom both are scary as shit. I know y'all and love you. You're not scary anymore. But just seeing y'all. Anyway, so.
I'm different on Joe Castle. Everybody's gonna be like, this fucking guy who talks like Urkel. Also, sorry to interrupt, a side note, I fucking hate my voice. Any y'all,
Mine too.
please leave a fucking comment if you feel like your voice sounds weird, if you ever
Yeah,
hear a recording of yourself.
please.
Because I hate the way I sound in recordings. I looked it up once, and the reason we hate it is because you sound different when it, like, to yourself, because there's extra vibrations in your ear that are coming like from your mouth to your own ear. So you hear yourself deeper than what you actually sound. So whenever you're hearing a recording, that's how you actually fucking sound. So
It's mad disappointing.
yeah, it sounds so foreign because your entire life, anytime you're talking, you can hear your own self talking. So it's different. So that's why we hate it, because we don't recognize it as our voice.
Fun fact.
Yeah. So I fucking hate my own voice. Let me know if you guys feel the same as you were
What was?
about you signing the consent form and not being able to.
That wasn't it at all, but we'll get there.
Oh, okay. Well, it was a
I was
story I
talking
used
about-
to tell about you, and that's the one I
talking about
remembered.
how I finally decided to grace you with my
Oh,
presence.
yeah.
Is what he tells people, because I
It wasn't
never,
until Nick moved away.
Nick moved away, and I wanted this tattoo. You probably can't see it, but I just have this Dreamcatcher tattoo that I really wanted for reasons, and
For reasons.
and I just called up here one night and I was like, hey, do y'all have any openings? And they were like, yeah, we've got one artist available. So I came up here and he did my tattoo. And then like a couple of days later, I came back and he was like, I used to tell you, hey, like when I would see you when Nick would pierce you, but you never.
Yeah, I'd always be like, hey,
Grace
what's
me
up?
with
Because I talk to
presents.
people that come in here all the time, and you're a unique character, to say the least. So I was like, I want to say what's up to that bitch. She seems cool. And every time you would just ignore me, so I'm like, man, fuck her, cripple-ass bitch. Like, what do you have to be prude about?
2 years later, the best fucking friends.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to do your tattoo that night. Because I don't know, it was going to be like a drawing process and all that, so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. And I just think to myself all the time, like, how good my life would be if I didn't do your tattoo that night.
Okay. Okay, bitch.
You said
Fuck
that.
you.
You said that, like, I've never seen you use regular gas.
But it was different from the get-go, because normally, like, for those of you who aren't familiar with coming in a tattoo shop, our shop is mainly a custom shop, so you come in, describe to us what you want, and we'll draw something up from there. Rarely do people come in and pick something from like the flash that we've got hanging up around the shop. So I came in, I told him what I wanted, and I was like, "Can I watch you draw?" And that's not like a normal thing. And he was like, "Yeah."
I hate whenever people watch me draw their tattoo. I don't mind so much people watching me do tattoos, that doesn't bother me. But watching me draw, because it's not the final form of what it's going to be. And like, if I fuck up, I don't want them looking at it and judging that, and they'll be like,
like prejudging.
Yeah, and I hate, for some reason, it really like offends me and pisses me off. Like, I get real fucking bitchy whenever people are watching me. So like, I'll look on and be like, I'll come get you whenever it's done. And they'll just be like, oh, all right. Or sometimes I'll just be like, I fucking hate whenever people watch me draw. I said that the other day. I don't remember who was.
It was your client that you had tonight.
Oh, yeah, it was.
You said both of those lines tonight.
Yeah, she was watching. And there was nothing wrong with, like, there's nothing, I understand wanting to watch us draw. But for some reason, it's not like stage fright, but almost.
It's like you should draw better.
Yeah, right. I will tell that story in a second. So once I get to like the stenciling it on you, you've already approved the image. You already like what it's gonna look like. So there's no pressure. All I gotta do is just do what the fuck I drew.
Yeah.
But until I get to that point, there's a lot of margin of error. Tattoo artists aren't perfect. We fuck up. We even fuck up during your tattoo. Not all the time, and it's not big fuck ups, and you'll never know it. If you got a good tattoo artist, we'll fuck up, and you'll never know it. So, whenever I was drawing, I just looked up, I was like, I fucking hate whenever people watch me draw, and they're like, oh, and this person's sweet as fuck. Like, she's super fucking nice.
Love her.
Heavily
fuck with her.
Super fucking cool. I just don't like people watching me draw. The only way I'm gonna be cool with you watching me draw is if you're like one of my good friends or something like that.
Have no hands.
Or if you work here, and I don't know what was different that night where I was like, yeah, that's fine. I just was like, okay. I figured like there's nothing you could really judge me about. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got no legs. You ain't got no daddy. You ain't got no elbows.
Hey, I got both my elbows, motherfucker.
Show them the weird elbow. I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
And what's wild too, that I learned like a month ago maybe, I didn't know this was the case. But so also we watch a lot of things while he tattoos or while I tattoo. We watch a lot of things on TV, like stand up and movies mainly. Duh, like so I was like, oh, you should put on John Mulaney. And that's, like, people don't get to choose what we watch. And so the other night, I brought it up to him. I was like, why did you let me choose what we watched? Because he'll have clients be like, oh, will you put on this? He's like, no. We watch what we need to be in the mood for.
Yeah. A lot of times people watch dumb shit, and I don't want to be, like, I can't really watch what it is that we're watching while I'm tattooing, but I can hear it. And like during dips, or if I'm taking breaks, I'll look up and watch it. So if somebody's like really into anime, I'm not at all into anime, so I don't want to be watching that. Or like I hate sitcoms. If there's a laugh track, I hate that. They piss me off. So I don't want to be in like a funk of like this fucking annoying shit on TV. Yeah. So I don't let people choose. But I'm not a prick. I'm not going to make you watch what I want to watch. We have lists of shit, and we'll suss you out. So while I'm setting up, I'll talk to you about what kind of stuff you're into, and I get an idea of who you are, and then we go through what we know like that we watch, and we'll be like, oh, do you like yada yada? And they'll be like, oh yeah, or I've never seen it, or I'll tell them about it, and if they're like, I really want to check that out, then we'll put that on.
Because we have a million different things that we watch.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of different streaming services, so we'll put on all kind of different stuff. So the reason with you that I'd let you choose is because you're neurotic as fuck. So you came in here by yourself, and I wanted you to like feel comfy. And you mentioned a stand-up, and it wasn't any unfunny ass bitch like Amy Schumer or anything like that. So I was like, fuck it. I had heard a John Mulaney joke before, the What's New Pussycat one. I had heard that before, and I was like, I want to check out his stuff. I just never did it myself. So it was a good suggestion, and you were neurotic as fuck, so I wanted you to feel comfortable. So I was like, all right.
I'm a neurotic ass bitch. Fuck me.
Yeah.
But what also I love is one of our like most used jokes, like inside jokes that we have, came from that night, from that stand up, and it's the horse.
The horse loose in the hospital. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. We reference that shit all the time, and that happened night one.
Yep. Yeah. So back to the you need to draw better. There was a guy who came in. There was a gas leak in my mom's old neighborhood where she was living.
I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, there was a gas leak there for like a week. And it was like a really big gas line. So Georgetown, Texas, if you don't know, is built on a lot of limestone. So in between limestone beds, there will be a gap of air, like just open space. And there was gas all in that. So everybody was kind of tripping out that like if plates were to shift or anything were to happen, it'd be pretty fucking bad. So they had people coming in from Dallas, Houston, all over to come fix the gas leak. And this guy just happened to have Googled us and found, the shop. And he came in, he wanted to get this Dia de los Muertos chick on the inside of his arm. And I was like, yeah, bro, I got you. Like, that's my style. I grew up in southern Arizona, right on the border of Mexico. I used to live in Mexico. I love Hispanic culture. I love the food, the women's. I love the language, everything. So I was very familiar with the style, and I knew what he wanted it to look like. So drew it up. He looked at it, he was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So I stenciled on him, and we're tattooing, and he's kind of quiet. Every now and then we'll get people that our energies just don't match. So the more quiet I am during a tattoo, the more our energy just isn't matching, and I can't figure out what to say, put on, do, anything like that to make sure that we click. So this was one of those nights where I was just kind of quiet. We weren't really talking about a whole lot. It wasn't like awkward silence, but it just wasn't, how it normally is. If you're one of my clients, we joke around, we have inside jokes, conversations the whole time. It's not awkward silence. So after I'm done tattooing him, he goes in the mirror and he looks at, he's like, you need to fucking draw better. And it was the first time in my 14 years of tattooing that I had ever heard something like that. So we were just like Lieutenant Dan and I look at each other like, what the fuck? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, dude, this looks fucking dope. Your drawing looked like shit. And I was like, why would you get it? Like, if you didn't like the drawing, and if you thought that the quality of the drawing was bad, why would you get the tattoo? I'm glad that he liked it, and he gave me a really good review on Google. If you go on Google and check out the Dia de los Muertos girl, it's there. He put the picture up there. It came out dope. It was like, we say that all the time now. You need to draw better. It was crazy.
But I have something that goes along with, like, if you didn't like the drawing, why would you get it? So, I've told you this, I think, but I was in group therapy, and there was, like, a fill-in therapist one day, and she had, like, a full sleeve, yep. Full color, like, fresh, like, she was still, like, within the first 8 days, because she was still keeping Aquaphor on it. And I was like, oh, your tattoo's really dope. Like, it's pretty. I love it. And then, like, the other people that were in my group were like, yeah, it's dope. Like, where'd you get it? And she told us, and I don't remember what it was. But she was like, yeah, it's really dope. I like it, but I don't know. I just don't like the color or the style on me.
Yeah. Like a whole ass sleeve,
like,
from the crown of your shoulder all the way down to the wrist.
And, like, I don't know if you know this, but sleeves aren't like a one session thing.
No.
Like a multiple months.
Depending on your schedules, it takes up to a year for a sleeve to get done on average. Like, depending on the style that you're going for and what it is you're getting and how intricate it is, it could take up to a year for an entire sleeve to be done. It's definitely not a one sleeve thing, like a one session thing.
Yeah, hers was like a stained glass type feel. Mm-hmm. So, like, real thick, like, black lines and real, like, packed in the color.
Okay.
I'm just
so,
like,
yeah, it was some sessions.
Yeah, some sessions. And I'm just like, did you not like maybe mention to artists during like the drawing stages, like, hey, I don't know if I really like this style.
Yeah.
Like, she paid for all of it, and I don't.
She's
like,
gonna end up with them fucking ugly blackout sleeves.
That's like a lesson for everyone. If you don't like a drawing, don't be afraid to say it, because it's not gonna offend us. It's on you forever.
The thing that pisses me off the most is if somebody doesn't tell me that they don't like it. At the end of the day, I want you to love your tattoo. I don't want to just stick you with some shit. Yeah. I will never just try and stick you with some shit. And I'm not going to try and put what I want you to have. I want you to have what you want to have. If it's something that's not going to work, I'm going to explain to you why it's not going to work and why you probably shouldn't get it in the way that you're wanting. And I'm going to try and figure out a way to give you what you want in a way that will work. There's a whole lot we can go into there to unpack. So in the future, if you guys have any questions that you'd like to be addressed on this platform, message us on the Joke Podcast Instagram. We'll be able to check it there easiest. And if there's something you want us to go into, to, you know, dig a little bit deeper into and explain to you, shoot us a message over there. If there's a story you want to ask about, anything that you want to ask for us to talk to you about on camera, just message us on there, and we'll be more than happy to, you know, take questions, anything like that. But I hate whenever people don't tell me exactly what they want, and there's like, I don't know, I guess it'll work. Because I feel like I'm not doing my end of the deal.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm a tattoo artist because I love the industry, I love the work, I love the interaction between people. And you're coming to me with the understanding that you're gonna get a good tattoo. And I want to honor my end of that deal and give you the tattoo that you're proud of, that you're literally gonna be buried with.
And on the client side, that you're paying for.
Yeah, you're paying for it.
Like, you're paying for it, you might as well get exactly what you want.
Yeah. Don't go to a fucking car dealership expecting a Ferrari and settle for a Pinto because that's what they told you to get.
Yeah.
Get what you want.
Motherfucker, I wanted a Tesla, not a fucking Kia.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted a Tesla, not a Kia. That was a good one. So yeah, honesty is the most important thing. If something doesn't look right or you don't like it, let us know. I always tell people whenever I'm, you know, taking a drawing deposit and all that, I will draw this 1,000,000 times until you like it, and I mean it. I mean, 1,000,000 is a fucking crazy amount out there to draw. I probably wouldn't draw it literally 1,000,000 times, but even 10, 15 times, your appointment's gonna get pushed back more, because I obviously need to make sure that I understand what it is you're wanting, and I'm going to try and give you that version of it. But,
and it's not the only drawing that you have to do.
Yeah. I stay pretty busy with the amount of drawings I got to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing, is make sure you get what it is you want. Make sure you articulate it, and also be open to, if I say, you know, it's going to take longer for me to draw, we get some people that get kind of mad about that. They expect it, you know, day of. There's a lot of people that'll show up and they're like, hey, I want this big ass cover up, can you do it right now? It's like, no, not even a little bit.
We're not machines.
Yeah, not only that, but you know, a really intricate tattoo, it takes time. And like, I'm a lot slower as a tattoo artist. Anybody who gets tattooed by me knows I'm really slow. In 2013, I got shot. I had to take a year off of tattooing, and as a result, my speed is just dead. Like, it's been 8 years, I think, since I got shot, right?
7.
Yeah. And math. I failed botany. I'm not good. So it takes a long time for me to get a tattoo done, but as a result, I do really, really intricate work, and it takes time to do that, and I will never, ever rush through a tattoo to fit your time schedule and compromise your tattoo. I'd rather somebody come to me with no other plans for the day, we're going to stay until 2, 3 in the morning, and make sure you get something that is like a showstopper. I want people to see a tattoo on you and be like, dude, where the fuck did you get that? I want people to be like, yo, you should put it in a magazine, or you should really like put it out there on the web or something like that. So that's my goal in tattooing. Yep. And there's some people that just don't get that, or they don't have that kind of time, or I'm just not the artist for them. So if that's the case, I have no shame in telling somebody it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Happened many a times.
But it doesn't always work out.
Yeah. Some things just aren't meant to be. Tattooing is a different kind of industry. It's not like the food industry or anything like that. The customer is certainly not always right, for sure. That kind of touches, I want you to have what you want, but there's things that won't work in tattooing that just aren't feasible. So I think that the worst thing to happen for any kind of service industry is the customer is always right, because that's where a lot of Karens were born, because they feel like they can go in and shit on you.
Fucking Karens.
Yeah, fucking Karens. So just be open. Work with us. I'll work with you, you work with me.
And remember that, like, I'm newer, so I can't say this yet, but he's been doing this for 14 years, so he kind of knows what he's doing. And so...
If I say something's not going to work, it's because I've tried it before and it didn't.
Yeah.
And then, like, another thing that we could probably unpack more in the future is, like, pricing.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be like, well, why the fuck is it that much?
So
Even if it's something simple or if it's something fast. And it's like, it's a meme, but it's true. You're not paying me for how fast I can get a tattoo done or how good I can do a tattoo. You're paying me for the years I've put into to make it done in this amount of time or with this quality.
You're paying me for my experience.
You're paying me for my experience. You're paying me what I think I'm worth. And I still don't charge people as much as I probably should. But, you know, there's a lot of price hagglers that walk in with Gucci pants and a Coach purse driving a Tesla. It's like all of what you have right now can be taken from you with one jail sentence, one car accident, one wrong washing in the washer. What I'm giving you, yeah, you can't do anything with it, but you're literally gonna take it to the grave with you. There's nothing other than your dental work or your surgery, metal and shit in you, that you're gonna literally take to the grave with you. Yeah, you can't do anything with a tattoo, but you're obviously getting the tattoo for a reason, so it means something to you. So why go cheap? You might as well.
If you want it that bad, if you want it enough to make it permanent, why would you?
Go cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fix tattoos all the time, and I see tattoos all the time of really bad quality that people want to go cheap on. So that's just like a quick snippet
This
of...
is like something funny, but it has to do with getting tattoos covered up. So one night he has this lady come in, and
the name.
and her dude is locked up, and she's getting his name on her list.
And like while I'm drawing it up, he keeps calling her and shit.
Like, and so then
Like he's locked up.
So while she's getting it tattooed, she's asking him, like, what do you think would be good to cover this up with? You know, just in case.
Yeah.
Like, never has anyone come in and been so honest with the fact that they're
I told her, I was like, yo, I got mad respect for you, because, you know, people do get names. Like, I can't talk shit. I got my wife's name right on the side of my head right here. And like... You know, people get names. Even tattoo artists, we get people's names. But she was just like, you know, he's tripping all the time, so if I want to cover it up, what should I do? And I was like, I got you. So I did it lighter. Like, I didn't use black, I used really dark gray, and that's going to lighten up a little bit. So if she wants to get it covered in the future, it'll be easy. But it was funny as fuck. We were cracking up.
Like, you're honest, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I always appreciate honesty.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a lot of people try and beat around the bush these days. Honesty is the way to go.
I was a bitch that used to beat around the bush before I met you.
All the time. All the time.
I was a whole different bitch.
Yeah, you really was like a whole different person before we met.
I've changed.
This fat bitch.
Just feeling sorry for myself.
All the time. Like, one hand, I get it, because, like, God fucked you a little bit. But like on the other hand, you grew up pretty privileged.
I did.
You had a really good life.
All things considered, I had a really good life.
Like imagine, not to sound like I'm sucking on a pity dick, but imagine growing up the way I did, the way you are.
I could not have. I could not have.
So
I couldn't have even grown up with you as a brother.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. I used to terrorize my sisters.
I know.
Like, my mom had told me once.
This is my favorite story.
Mom had told me once, make sure, like, she was going to work. And I was 13 at the time, and she was like, make sure that the girls do them fucking dishes. By any means. I'm like, bet. She said, by any means. So I had just gone out to the Tanker Verde swap meet. You all got swap meets out here?
I don't know.
Do you
What
even
is
know?
it?
So a swap meet is like a flea market. We call it the Mexican Mall in Tucson because it's straight up like a whole bunch of wachos there, and it's like a big flea market, and it's dope as fuck. Like you can get